it up. Much better. Good morning. I kind of fixed the problem I had on my last ride with this. So if you watch my last skate park video / urban ride, my front wheel on my hardtail was getting loose and I had no multi-tool with me. I was pretty much stranded. Like, I could finger tighten the axle, but for the most part I couldn't really hop or do any tricks. And I thought to myself, I always carry this Milwaukee knife. It's a box cutter knife, utility knife. It uses disposable blades. And the cool part about this knife is it has a little bit holder so you can tighten and loosen screws. So I already had this in my pocket every single day. I literally do not leave the house without this knife. I use it every day for work. I use it almost every day or every other day when I open packages. So this knife comes with me everywhere, 24/7. It's really cool. It's got a bottle opener, a knife, and a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver. So I thought to myself, what if I could attach some Allen keys to my knife, and that way I'm able to work on my bike whenever I need to. This Milwaukee knife locks one way and then two ways, Phillips and flathead. Knife with two sides on the blade, and it holds one extra blade in case this one gets dull. Top of it is a bottle opener. Crack open a beer or your soda, and then these are the Allen keys. And what I came up with is just a little bit holder with some 3M double-sided tape. It's actually the tape that you use for the GoPro mounts. I just cut it down to this size, and it's been on there for a week and a half now. I take it to work every day. It takes a beating and it still hasn't came loose. I got 3 sizes of Allen keys. I believe it's a 4, a 5, and a 6. These Allen keys are a little bit long, but it's all I really had. I could buy some shorter ones that make the knife and this whole setup a little lighter, but to be honest, this is what I had and it works. So I'm pretty stoked on this little invention of mine that I had. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that my multi-tool has, but it has the 3 most used Allen keys on my bikes. So for whatever reason, if my wheels come loose, my seat post comes loose, a majority of things I'm able to fix just with this setup. To a normal human being, this might look pretty dumb, and I totally agree with you, but to an avid cyclist like myself, this serves me well. It has a purpose. It's not the prettiest looking thing, but it definitely is a useful piece of equipment that I carry with me. And then just have it like this. It's always with me, 24/7. So I just passed Bellflower Skate Park, and it didn't look too good. The floor was still a little wet from the rain in the previous days. It kind of looks like how this riverbed looks. Huddled up a bit. So we're just gonna trek on to Cerritos. I love hills like that. You get some fast manuals. They're good practice too. Cerritos. This skate park's in way better condition. Everything's completely dry. You can't even tell that it rained the last few days. First trick up to warm up, I'm gonna try to hot manual this little ledge. Rail ride it. Well, that didn't work out. Dude, I was even thinking about it in my head. I was like, if I break my derailleur, I'm gonna be so pissed. And the first attempt, I break the freaking derailleur. This thing is badly, it's like, yeah, it's done. You can see it cracked right there, and it's just dangling. On the bright side, nothing else looks to be broken other than the derailleur. I thought I might have broken a spoke, but I checked the wheel and everything looks good. The derailleur just got jammed into this spoke, but it's still solid. So I think we're good. Even the derailleur hanger looks pretty straight. It doesn't look bent or anything. Unfortunately, our little invention won't help us here, but I'm gonna try to figure out a way to at least get home. I'm just gonna fix it onto one gear and see if I could just use one gear to get home, because I don't think my girlfriend's at work right now. It's a Thursday, so she's not gonna pick me up and basically don't have a ride, so I have to make this work. So it looks like my only option here is to break the quick link on the chain and try to shorten the chain so it fits on one of these gears. I'm just measuring the chain on like what gear I want it at, so that I can install the quick link. And then I'm gonna use my ring. I was gonna use my wedding ring, but I don't think my wife would appreciate that. I'm gonna try to pop out this link. I should bring some gloves. We're gonna try to pop the pin out. I think this will work better. Oh, that looks pretty decent. I am so determined to figure this out. You guys have no idea, because I do not want to walk home from all the way over here. I think I'm gonna try to use that instead. Oh, come on, kid. I'm even willing to break this chain and buy a new one if it means not having to walk home. I'm defeated. Doesn't look like we're gonna make this work, and I feel like it's taking too much time, so the sooner we get on the road, the sooner we can get home. I technically could still ride the park just by pumping and using momentum to get around, but I know that I have such a long trek ahead of me that I kind of just want to get it over with. Had to hop off of this hill. We're getting there. I think from here on out, I need to just ride with a multi-tool. An hour and a half later, we're off the riverbed. I am pretty sore after that trek. I learned 2 things today. First thing is never do rail rides, and the second one is that I need to buy another multi-tool. If I buy a second multi-tool, I'm able to keep it in that backpack and then keep the other multi-tool in my truck or my hip pack, so that way I don't forget it, you know, on my rides, because I'm noticing that's what tends to happen. If I only have one multi-tool and I get it from my truck to put in my backpack, and then I take it out of my backpack, leave it home, and a lot of the times I just end up leaving it and forgetting it for my rides. So if I just have a designated multi-tool for each setup, you know, for my street riding gear and then my mountain bike, like going out on a trail gear, I should be good. I learned a lot. I'm not saying it was a bad experience. I still had a good time. I got to be outside and cruise, but I think I just gotta start being better prepared for these rides, because that hour and a half trek was lengthy. Even though I came up with this little addition, it didn't really help me on today's ride, ironically enough, but we gave it a try and we failed, which is okay. I probably won't fix the hardtail anytime soon, because this weekend I think I'm gonna be taking out full suspension on a trail. So maybe sometime next week, I'll do some searching for the derailleur and a new chain and get that thing dialed by next week. I think what bugs me the most too is how simple of a trick that was. Like I literally was a foot off the ground and that happened. But although I'm a little upset of how I broke it, I'd much rather have a broken derailleur than, you know, a broken bone. You can always replace a derailleur. A broken bone is not as easily replaced. So that's the way I see it, you know. I'd rather break parts than bones or myself getting hurt. I guess that's the bright side of the situation. Thank you guys for tuning in on this unfortunate adventure, and I'll catch you on the next one.